very pleased to have with us Mr. Debashish Ghosh, CEO, Times Business Solutions. Debashish Ghosh is a dynamic, resolute, and charismatic leader with over 2 decades of experience in technology and internet domains. As a technology and business visionary, he has been a pioneer in the e-commerce, portal, and Web 2.0 spaces. Debashish moved to Times Business Solutions Limited from leading the unified IT and response function at Bennett Coleman and Company Limited in March 2012. As Director of Unified IT, Debashish has led strategy formulation and activation for various technology-led initiatives of the BCCL. He was responsible for several technological developments and enhancements relating to advertising and production functions for the print division. He has been a vital resource in the development and activation of web platforms for the online businesses of the Times Group. As a critical juncture in its development, Debashish also worked with Times Internet Limited in the capacity of their Chief Technology Officer. Debashish has a hunt acumen of the sales and marketing functions, having led the rupees 4,000 plus crore advertising mandate as a director response for the Times Group, assuming charge of both advertising operations and corporate strategy. A physics graduate with a master's in computer applications from Kolkata University, Debashish is a change agent and problem solver with a passion for technology, management strategies, and music. Now I request sir to please share the dice.
Thank you, everybody. That was way too long, right? That introduction. I thought my time's going to get over because of the introduction itself. Okay. One question to all my student friends here. Everybody's had lunch? Yes. See, I have a big problem with lunch. I'm not a lunch person normally, but I couldn't say no to the hospitality of ATM. And I have a big problem. The problem is that whenever I have lunch, I feel sleepy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk, if that doesn't distract you too much. And if any one of you are like me, who fall asleep after lunch, please pinch the person next to you every time you feel so. Okay? When I was told that I have to come and speak at the third C.K. Prahalad Memorial Lecture Series, it was something that honestly baffled me a bit. Although we've grown up reading C.K. Prahalad and Gary Hamel and all the other management gurus, but to have an opportunity like this, come and speak to you, and that too I understand you all are all management students, and I understand upstairs there are non-management students as well who have shown an interest and have registered for this lecture series, which I think is very good because knowledge can never be, wasted. So coming back to the point, when I learned that I have to come and speak to you guys, I was at a fix that what do I come and tell you? You today are fresh out of your books or into your books in terms of management theory and in terms of definitions. You'll probably beat me hands down. But I can't let you beat me, can I? So what I thought is I'll try and give you, I won't call this a lecture, first and foremost. I'd like to call this a presentation. That works better? Very good. Secondly, what I'm about to tell you is some things that I've learned over 22 years of my career. And I've tried to put it down in as simplistic terms as possible so that it doesn't become jargonish and it doesn't become something that you have to grasp very difficultly. But more importantly, what I've tried to do is, kind of marry whatever Dr. Prahlad's teachings were. Because, today in the morning session when I was listening to several speakers talking about what Dr. C.K. Prahlad, espoused and what are the various things that he talked about, that he propounded, I was starting and thinking that, there are a lot of this is something that we practice today as professional managers on a day-to-day basis without even realizing that there was a gentleman called Dr. C.K. Prahlad who, first introduced them. Now, when the learnings or the teachings, when the teachings of a man transcend the man himself, I think there can't be any greater tribute to the person concerned. So while I will not refer and say, look, this is what Dr. C.K. Prahlad said, because you all can Google that anytime, okay? But you'll probably find things that I'm telling you that sink in with whatever you've learned in your management courses and whatever you've learned today during the morning session. So I belong, my notes just fell down. I belong to the world of technology. I belong to the world of media. And therefore, a lot of what I will talk to you today will belong to that industry. But frankly, at a generic level, learnings are not confined to industries, especially management learnings. Okay? They transcend industries, and they are things that you could use at any given point in time. And for instance, today, as I heard somebody say that management is art plus science, I would say management is art plus science plus philosophy. Okay? Because if you're not philosophical, you won't make a great manager. Okay? That's one. These are slides that I wrote on my BlackBerry, right? It's not on the slide. So management is what you learn not only from books or institutions, but it's what you learn by keeping your eyes, ears, mind open. And your passion and hunger for more, forever unsatisfied. There was a gentleman, now I'm going to ask you a small quiz. There was a gentleman who said, stay hungry, stay foolish. Okay. And there's an Indian book by that name as well, which gives various Indian case studies of management of various people, including the founder of my competition, Naukri.com, whose case studies are mentioned over there. So, going forward, management at any level is constantly asking questions and not really having all the answers. As students, and this is something that I am telling you from practical experience, one of the first things, one of the predominant, I would say, what's the word? One of the big things that students have, right, is to quickly answer a question that you have that's been thrown at you, especially if you're an intelligent and a keen student. You suddenly put up, sir, I know the answer, right? Management teaches you not to do that. Management teaches you to listen to the questions first. Think whether or not you're right. And make 5 mistakes one after the other. Management teaches you not to be perfect. If anybody's told you that management teaches you to be perfect, the world has changed. The world has completely changed. Today's world, professional managers who are progressive expect people like you, when you join their organizations as freshers, expect people like you to come up with fresh ideas. Come up with stupid ideas sometimes. Nothing is stupid. Because if you don't ask that question, there'll be something that will be always unanswered. And as people, as fresh young blood getting into the business stream of India today, you just can't afford to do that, because it's not about just you guys there, right? Every year there are, how many lakhs, I don't know, students coming out of management schools in the country. And the best people the people who ultimately go on to become good managers, ultimately go on to become successful professionals, are not necessarily the people who come out of iconic institutions. Please understand that. Institutions teach you knowledge, give you knowledge. The world outside teaches you how to use that knowledge. Now, it's entirely up to you. You won't have your faculty. You won't have your parents breathing down your neck when you're apprenticing somewhere to tell you that you now, every second of the day, that application of knowledge is what counts. And that's what drives an ordinary individual to extraordinary heights. Okay. So, management is not about being shy, about doing new things, but it's about being brave enough to think differently, make enough mistakes, fail lots of times, but fail quickly. A lot of times, big companies have folded up because they kept on making the same mistake over and over and over again, despite realizing that they were making a mistake. Their own ego, their own, larger than infallibleness prevented them from trying out different things. And suddenly somebody else came and disrupted their world, and there are billions of such examples. I'll give you some during the course of my presentation. And somebody talked about competitive advantage and how can, there was a question in the morning session. The first thing that struck me when the question was asked is, what is competitive advantage? Competitive advantage in simple terms to me is nothing but a function of innovation. In today's world, there's again a book, Innovate or Die. And that is very, very, very relevant today, and it's becoming all the more relevant. I was just having a discussion some time back about all the various startup companies that have come up, mostly in the digital space. 5 people. They come up with a brilliant idea. They come up with a nicely executable plan. They go and present it to an investor. The investor pays in the first seed round money. And they go and become big. And you don't have to go too far to look at the examples of these kind of companies. The Googles that you search on, the Facebooks that you are constantly on, are examples of such companies. Okay? And today, more and more and more and more such companies are coming up in India. In India as we speak. And that's what is the disruption, the disrupted market that you will be getting into the moment you finish your course and step out into the business world. So it's important for you to be prepared for that, important for you to be aware of that, most importantly. We talked about innovation, we talked about how various big companies are doing innovation. And we also talked about Jugaad, right? Jugaad, realistically, has become a word that's used in a negative sense. Ye to Jugaad hai. As though it's something that's being done in a manner that is not supposed to be done in that way. But frankly, if you look at strict Hindi definition of Jugaad, it essentially means frugal innovation. It essentially means how can you do innovative things without spending too much money. Okay? And as a classic example of this, Dr. Rishikesh talked about, what was that, Chota Cool, right? Yeah. Godrej Chota Cool. Now, Godrej Chota Cool needed batteries. Okay? It was 5,000 to 8,000 rupees price point. How much? 3,000 to 3,800. Very good. You were paying attention then. So it cost that much. It was small. It could carry only certain things. There is a book again that has come out called Jugaad. Okay? The book's name is Jugaad. It's an English book. Stories and case studies of frugal innovation. If you all come across it, you must read it because it's like stories. It's not hardcore management theory.